It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NFL.
Jake Bates with a 44-yard attempt, hash mark right side to give the Lions the lead. He's ready. There's the snap. There's the spot. Kick away. It is up, and it is good! Jake Bates sends it through! With 15 seconds to go, the Lions have taken the lead. It is Detroit 31 and the Vikings 29.
Second and 10 from the 12. Play clock down to 5. Allen in the shotgun takes the snap. Blitz coming. Fires over the middle for Amari Super Cooper for a 12-yard touchdown reception.
Fourth down, less than a yard for a touchdown. Mahomes takes the snap and wants to throw it. He'll step up into the pocket, flag on the play. Mahomes is into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City.
Gets the snap, gives to Najee Harris, hurdles a man, and Najee Harris scampers into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh Steelers, 10-yard run. Najee Harris jumps into the stands. Here comes a couple linemen to join him.
Highlights from the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs are the last undefeated team in the NFL. They beat the 49ers 6-0. 28-18. Kansas City improves to 6-0 on the year. The Niners have guys leaving the game sick, and Deebo Samuel, after, 4 or 5 plays, whatever, it was early, and Brandon Ayuk looked like he wrecked his knee. That was horrible. And the Chiefs just keep rolling along, PK. Doesn't matter how many interceptions Patrick Mahomes throws. He's tied for the lead in the NFL, and they got the best record.
All facts.
Are you amazed by them?
No, not at all. I don't think the Niners are that good. So they beat a team that's 3-4.
Yep.
And they didn't dominate. I mean, Mahomes didn't have these just eye-popping stats, but they got the job done. Just check it off.
Their defense is the best part of that team this year. For all the stuff their offense has done in the past, their defense has been sensational.
Way to go, Chris Jones and guys.
But the 49ers, to your point, are not the 49ers of old. They do look pretty average and pretty mediocre, and that is why they're 3-4. And when your window is open, seize it, because it's the NFL and you never know how long it's going to last.
Roger Craig is not walking through that door.
There it is. The other team that had been undefeated, the Vikings, got beat on the last-second field goal. Lions 31-29. I'm ready for as many NFC North versus NFC North playoff games as the NFL playoffs can give us. That was a good game. The Packers and the Texans was also a good game, decided by a last-second field goal. Packers 24-22, so you got 4 teams, all with 1 or 2 losses right now.
That's a great division.
Exactly.
Tremendous.
You also heard Najee Harris running wild. The Steelers down 15-3 to the Jets, rattle off 34 unanswered. And win going away, 37-15. Russell Wilson, 264 yards, 2 touchdowns. Didn't start great, but he warmed up and he was cooking.
Yeah, he looked good. Hasn't played in a bit. Steelers continue to motor along. They're just a model franchise.
Can we just pencil the Bills in as the first playoff team now with a 3-game lead in the AFC East? They hammer the Titans 34-10.
Well, it's a weak division there. The Jets can't get it together. Tua's out for Miami. Patriots are obviously still in rebuild mode. Kind of remind me of what the Bulls did. We're so dominant now. How long is it going to take to get back? You got to give them some time. For the Bulls, we've gone many, many years. For the Patriots, we'll see. So to answer your question, yeah, the Bills should be the obvious best team in that division.
Monday Night Football, Ravens and Bucks, 6:15 on ESPN and ABC. The Chargers and the Cardinals in a Monday night doubleheader. We got 2 games tonight, but that is a streaming-only game, ESPN Plus, for the Chargers and Cardinals. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Utah.
They're going to go under center. That doesn't happen all that much. Hoover is going to try to sneak it, gets a push from behind, a penalty flag thrown, and now we get the signal. Touchdown. Kick is up, and the kick is good from 28 yards out. So TCU expands its lead 13-0 here in the third quarter. And Wilson's going to go under center. 1st and 10 from the 29. Play fake. Wilson, plenty of time. Going deep, middle, caught! Touchdown! Money Parks.
Very obvious, like I said. There's no mystery as to what our issues are. It's shown up for 3 weeks in a row now. We've got to, look at everything really hard in the next 24 to 48 hours and make some tough decisions and see where we're at.
There's Kyle Whittingham after Utah loses to TCU 13-7, and where they are at is offensive coordinator Andy Ludwig has resigned. He's leaving the program. Northwestern offensive coordinator Mike Bajakian is expected to take on a bigger role with play calling. It's a 3-game losing streak, and the guy who was calling plays for both Rose Bowls and the Sugar Bowl is gone. So when Kyle says big things are going to happen, well, there you go. Big things happening.
Yeah, it shook up the industry a little bit, talking to some folks last night when that went down. Didn't think that, maybe it's the right move, and is it cosmetic? Bajakian's got all sorts of credentials. He's the former Northwestern coordinator. He's been a coordinator 3 or 4 different places. Cincinnati comes to mind. He's been a quarterback's coach in the NFL. He's the bald-headed dude you see on the sidelines. For those folks who don't know who he is, he'll be available today, later on. So obviously that it looks like he's going to get the bulk of the responsibility with the play calling. And, to me, it stems from all this hype that they had going in the season was based on one player, and that player's not there. And Ludwig loses his job because that player's not there.
Does that make any sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. Should it make sense?
Oh. That's a question. I got to give you a prompt answer.
You did, and I appreciate that, TK. Thank you. If Rising's playing, they're 6-1 or 7-0.
I mean, I don't know that.
I suspect that.
That sounds good.
I suspect that.
But I don't know. I mean, talking to somebody, the receivers, it's the same old story, Singer, and then you get these guys, this guy transferred in, that guy transferred in. Yeah, well, that's nice. But they don't really do a whole lot. So, and they've got one running back. Offensive line was brutal the other night. So there you go. So I can't say that. But it's still, I do know the hype, which is what the problem was. They haven't lived up to the hype. The hype was based on one player.
Yes. That player isn't playing.
Right.
And now it's a massive disappointment.
Yeah.
But did the baby just go out with the bathwater? We'll get to that coming up.
Yeah.
DJ and PK.
#BYU.
First pass attempt of the third quarter for BYU, and it is a strike and a touchdown. Retzlaff to Keelan Marion after 10 straight running plays to open the quarter for BYU. Presley again, the motion man. The fake. Presley in the flat, gets free. Oklahoma State takes the lead. Happy feet, downfield, caught, broken tackle, Lassiter, touchdown! Are you kidding me?
A wild scene in Provo Friday night as the Cougars have it, blow it, take it back, and win the game 38-35. That's why we love college football. Wildly unpredictable right there. Big plays all over the place. That was a clutch drive by Oklahoma State. Converting 4th and 1, converting 4th and 1 again, converting 3rd and 13, getting the touchdown on the 3rd down play. And yet the BYU offense makes 3 huge plays and ends up in the end zone itself.
Oh, yeah, it's one of these games, particularly if they continue to win and get to where they want to go, which is in sight now. Still have 5 games. And so they'll be the hunted. So I believe each of those 5 games will be difficult potentially. But if they get there, you'll look back, wow, because there's always going to be a close call or two. Very few teams just breeze right on through the schedule and blow away everybody. And this was one of them. It'd probably be the closest game that they'll have all season. And it was electrifying, and they got it done. I mean, I don't think there's any point in discussing that. I don't see how Retzlaff does not go into the Utah Sports Jewish Hall of Fame.
Yeah, okay. Get that built, will you?
You get that built.
Get that built.
I'm inclusive, buddy. It's already built in my heart.
Oh, in your heart. Okay. Cougars up to number 11 in the media poll, number 12 in the coaches poll, and they're off to UCF this Saturday. DJ and PK.
#Utah State.
The Aggies had it until they didn't. Had the 2-score lead, but get outscored 21-7 in the fourth quarter. The defense that can't stop anybody, well, put New Mexico on the list of anybody, as the Lobos get 3 late scores and win 50-45. And the Yankees really knew they couldn't stop them because they're going for it on 4th and 1 at their own 34-yard line. You could punt the ball down there to the 20 or 30 or whatever and give your defense a full field to work with, but they clearly didn't believe in them. They went for it. It didn't work, and they lost the game.
Yeah, they're a mess.
Yep, 6 straight losses now. They've got Wyoming next. Also, a 1-6 team. Somebody's going to get a W. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
Plenty of time, 35 seconds. Lined up, back under center. Back to a run it, a sneak, touchdown! Rocco back took it in. He snuck it in from a yard out. And the Cyclones take the lead.
Keeps it on the ground. There's a hole for Martinez. That's 25, 20. Breaks the tackle. And goes left to the 10. He's to the 5. He's 3, 2, 1. Touchdown! Damian Martinez. Superb determination and flexing his muscle to get into the end zone.
90 seconds left. Milroe out of the shotgun, drops, stands in there, looks, fires over the middle, intercepted at the 37-yard line. A diving catch by Will Brooks. Brooks gets the interception, his second of the year, and that will seal it for Tennessee.
Wow. I formation. Micah Morris is the fullback. Etienne's the tail. We got a tight end there as well. Hand it to Trevor. This time he plows in. Touchdown, Georgia.
Yeah, no doubt about that one.
Georgia beats the undefeated Longhorns. They take their first loss. They fell out of the top spot in the polls, 30-15. Pretty decisive stuff there from a Georgia team that lost to Alabama earlier. Playing their best football, PK.
Yeah, back and forth as far as the who's the best in that conference. And Georgia just went in there and just blew them out, basically. And there was a little bit of life, and then Georgia just responded with a touchdown drive themselves and reestablished and looked very, very impressive, yeah. Those two teams you would think would be in the playoff. I'm not sure about Alabama anymore. But those two teams, unless there's some major slippage here, look like a lock. And at that point, what difference does the seeding make? I wouldn't be surprised if they seeded them to where it would play out that they would meet in the final if they both advanced that far.
Tennessee and LSU also thinking playoffs. Tennessee beat Alabama 24-17. So Alabama's got 2 losses, and they still got to play LSU. So they've got another tough game out there, maybe tough too. Miami stays undefeated somehow. They beat Louisville 52-45. So they are still unbeaten in the ACC. And Iowa State remains unbeaten in the Big 12. Like BYU, 38-35 winners. Like BYU, a late touchdown to remain undefeated. And Texas Tech's sketchy defense had a nightmare, gave up 59 to Baylor. So 2 losses on the season, their first loss in the Big 12. It's now clearly BYU and Iowa State in the driver's seats to get to Arlington.
Don't leave out Kansas State.
Kansas State a game back. Still in the mix.
I can argue they're the best team.
They blew out West Virginia 45-18.
I won't, but I could.
You could. DJ PK.
Hashtag Utah Jazz.
Jazz wrap up their preseason. They were blown out in Portland 124-86. It had been a feel-good preseason. There had been some wins, but as you get closer, maybe lineups get a little more real, and you get a taste of what this season might look like.
No, it was preseason. I didn't watch 1 second.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
And the 1-2. Swung on, a high fly to center. Back goes Thomas on the track. He's at the wall, and she's gone! A 3-run home run. The Yankee bench comes on the field. Wow, what a Soto photo. A long, high fly to deep right center and out.
Another 1-2 pitch. Edman swings, hits a high fly ball. Left field and deep. Nimmo is back on the warning track. At the wall. Gone! Another 3-2 pitch. Shohei swings, sends one to center field. Here comes Taylor, and he dives. Can't get it. Gets underneath his glove. Green light for Smith. He's coming around third, and he scores without a play.
It's the Yankees and it's the Dodgers. The Yankees get the big homer from Soto. They knock Cleveland out. And the Dodgers, well, they don't really have the pitching, PK, but they keep scoring runs. 8 runs or more. Again, they got the Mets knocked out. The Mets didn't really have the pitching either, I guess. So the Mets had their chances, though. They loaded the bases in the 6th. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Had a chance to tie the game or go ahead there.
Winker flew out. What are you going to do? You know what happens.
Yeah. And then the Dodgers, timely hitting. 8th inning, they put 3 on the board and pretty much ended that one. So,
all right.
Yankees-Dodgers, baby.
The Coastal Series, one versus the other.
You got a vibe in this, or, hey, throw up your hands and...
Well, I think they're both hot, obviously.
Good call.
A sentimentality would go for me for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag RSL.
Ojeda to Luna. Luna inside the area. Luna. Shot. Goal! Sending America first field into pandemonium. Luna back on the ball. Luna wide to Catranes. Catranes plays it inside the box, and it falls, and it's a goal! Not sure what happened there, but it finds the back of the nets, and RSL take a 2-1 lead in the 83rd.
Real Salt Lake beats Vancouver 2-1. They are the 3 seed in the MLS Cup playoffs, moving past Seattle on decision day as Seattle gives up a late goal and red card and only gets 1 point in their 1-1 draw with Portland. So RSL gets Minnesota in the first round of the best-of-3 series in the MLS Cup playoffs. October 29th, the first game in that series. They finish with a club best 59 points in the season. Now can they translate it to the postseason? DJ and PK.
Hashtag golf.
JT Poston winning the Shriners Children's Open 22 under. He wins by one stroke over Doug Gim. Patrick Fishburne tied for 34th at 11 under. Zach Blair finished tied for 61st at 2 under par. The fall series continues. Are we more invested in it now, PK? Now that we have a tournament of our own?
That first day, man, it was super windy. They didn't allow fans in and all that stuff. And I texted Patrick Manning. I said, man, I am so impressed that you have influence with God.
And what did you get back?
Got back to haha. That's a little bit of a rival tournament. So got that going on, sure. I did watch a little bit of it yesterday afternoon.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
This is Kolyachonok on the rush. Kolyachonok on the backhand. Scores! Vlad Kolyachonok lights the lamp for Utah. Moving in deeper on the left wing. Michelli back for Cooley. Power play time is over. We'll be at 4-on-4. Kesselring shoots, and he scores! The New Englander against Boston calls in back-to-back games for Michael Kesselring, and it's a 2-1 final. Utah wins in overtime.
Utah beating Boston 2-1. The Utah Hockey Club, the Boston Bruins, 2 of the higher scoring teams in the league, 2 of the teams that give up the most goals in the league. So naturally, it was scoreless after a period and 1-1 going to overtime. Doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't have to. Utah Hockey Club wins in overtime on Alex Kesselring's goal. That is 4 of the first 6 going OT, and they've won 3 of them.
Exciting stuff, yeah.
Ottawa Senators coming to town tomorrow night. Puck drop set for 7:15, and you can hear the game on the zone. DJ and PK, that is what is trending. Brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Coming up, Nate Dryland, Utah State interim coach at 7:30. He will join us right after the break. Steve Bartle, the Utes insider, to talk about the changes on the Hill at 9 o'clock. Courtney Reed, Ute linebacker, at 9:30. DJ and PK, it's 97.5 The Zone.